Yeah, we got beat by a good football team tonight. We didn't execute well enough to even give ourselves a chance. Obviously, you preach about doing your job one play at a time. We didn't get that done. So give them credit. They played well. We struggled with their speed and athleticism in space, struggled to tackle, struggled to limit the explosive plays. We struggled to really sustain any kind of drives. We'd have a couple positive things and we'd have a negative play and get ourselves behind the change. So, obviously, we need to move on from this. Obviously, we got to take it on the chin and own it. And obviously, they're playing good football and give them credit. But, we got to pick up the pieces here. We got to get back on that plane, get back to Muncie and turn our focus and attention to our first conference game at Central Michigan. And we've got to get the guys with some bumps and bruises, on the road to recovery the next couple of days here and get ready to go.
Mike, this is the largest margin of defeat of your tenure at Ball State. What are you telling the players in the locker room after a game like this?
We got beat, man. We didn't execute well enough. We played a good football team that's explosive. Obviously, they had two dominating wins first 2 weeks. We knew it was going to be a challenge here. So I'm not worried about what's happened tonight. Can't change any of that. I'm worried about our football team leaving that locker room and turning our attention towards our first conference game.
When you have a loss like this, what do you feel like the benefits are of playing a team like Miami?
Well, obviously it's a challenge. It's an opportunity that you look forward to. But in saying that, they've done a great job. You give them credit. They've done a good job as any team in this country has of attacking the transfer portal, adding some key pieces. And that's just, they've done a good job that way. So you give them credit for their evaluation and bringing the right guys in and they played well. And there's nothing else really to be said about that. And we didn't play well enough, didn't execute well enough. And we got to move forward.
Yeah, we can only see so much from our couch. We're by no means football experts. What makes Miami such a good football team, just on offense and defense?
Well, the quarterbacks, show me somebody who's playing better than him in the country through 3 games. Obviously, when you give them time in the pocket and they've got a great offensive line, they did a good job of adding some key pieces through the portal to a group that was already pretty experienced. So they got playmakers. They got 3 receivers out there on the perimeter that all had 850 or more yards receiving last year. So we knew it was going to be a challenge. And obviously, they brought in one of the top running backs in the country as well. So they're an explosive offense, and we struggled with them in space today and struggled to tackle. Obviously, the footing was a challenge for both teams, so that's no excuse at all. And we weren't able to contain some of their key players, and obviously they've done a good job of featuring their guys and playing good offense through 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know last week that Braedon Sloan had 21 carries tonight. He only had 5. Is that just a matter of playing from behind like you were in the first half?
I think it's a combination of things. Obviously, it was a stout group up front. They're going to put a bunch of people in the box and load it up and say, hey, good luck beating us outside one-on-one on the perimeter. We feel like our guys are better than yours, and we feel like we can create some pressure and make it uncomfortable on your quarterback. So they did a good job with that. They had an extra hat in the box that, obviously is when you don't have enough blockers to get that done, then it turns into goal line or short yardage football. So, they played a good game and they did a good job that way. And they've done a good job with the personnel piece of it.
Yeah, it seems like so far when you guys bring in Kyle for offensive possessions, teams have done a pretty decent job adjusting to that. What's the game plan, or I guess the ultimate outcome that you're looking for when you bring him in for a play?
We'll just keep working on it. Obviously, every week you want to try to get your playmakers on the field. Feel like Kyle's a playmaker, so we just keep grinding on that every week, and we'll just kind of see how that goes.
What do you think you can really take away and learn from a loss like this?
Listen, there's not a lot of positives to bring out of tonight. What we got to do is make sure when we get this locker room, we got to stay together here, get on that plane and head back to Muncie and turn our attention to Central Michigan. So obviously there's not a ton of not a ton of positives coming out of it. So you got to move forward and you got to move on to the next opponent because it's conference game number 1 next week.
Any final questions for Coach?
Yeah, I've got one more thing. Just playing a team like this, you're not going to be playing many top ACC teams with the kind of talent that Miami has. what's the importance of putting your guys through a challenge like they had today?
I mean, obviously, it's an opportunity more than anything else. Obviously, the decision to play Miami was made several years ago. So you give them credit because they attacked some of their personnel concerns that they had going into the offseason and really did a great job. Some of the, again, the quarterback's playing as good as any quarterback is in this country through 3 weeks. And then obviously they added some key pieces. On the defensive line there, they've added some key pieces really all over the place. So you give them credit for doing a great job of attacking the portal and bringing some guys in. And I'm sure they've obviously done a great job in terms of being aggressive with their collective and whatever money they got NIL wise. And you give them credit for that.
First thing, Keionte, I know you went down with a bit of an injury. What exactly was that? Because at the time the broadcast was cut out and I couldn't see the field. And also, how are you feeling now?
Feel fine now, just a little sore, man. Just catching cramps.
Oh, so it was lower body.
Yeah, I started having a full body cramp when I got taken out in like middle to end of third quarter. I'm all right now.
Okay. I guess first and foremost, like, have you ever played a team as good or as talented as Miami?
We played the #1 team in the country last year, and it's Georgia.
Yeah, I know that, but this was a much larger margin of defeat than against Georgia. What was the biggest difference in that?
Bad communications and self-inflicted wounds.
When you say self-inflicted wounds, what are some of those wounds that you guys maybe didn't play well tonight?
In the back end, we had some miscommunications and we left people wide open. And against a Heisman candidate, Heisman front runner, he is going to make us pay for that, and he did. We left too many people open on the back end, and we can't have that. Way too many explosive plays.
Yeah. When you say miscommunication, is that the helmet communication or
On the field.
Okay.
Helmet communication was a little, but we got signals and stuff for that, but we got to get it right on the back end. We're going to get it right.
As the leader of this defense and really just this team in general, during a game like that, what are you telling the guys throughout?
Stay positive, keep your head up, encourage your teammates, and it's a long season. This game can make or break, regardless of how it ended. It can make or break us.
Yeah. What do you feel like the benefits are of playing against a team like Miami?
You get to see where you are against a ranked opponent. They're top 10 in the nation. They're not top 10 for no reason. You get a good feeling of where you are as a team, and you can see it instantly. We shot ourselves in the foot, making plays on offense, and that's why the score looked the way it was.
For sure.
When some of the guys are down in the locker room and everything, being a leader, how do you kind of switch that narrative heading into the next couple of weeks?
Tell them that we are lucky and blessed enough to get to play another week, because people go down. Guy from Miami went down. A couple of our players went down this week and last week. Like, be thankful for the opportunity that we get to play these games, and we just blessed to keep playing these games, and just to know it's a long season and anything can happen. This could be our last loss in the season.
You do a good job of staying positive. You know, we've talked about that in the past, and you said that's kind of what you were preaching to the guys tonight. Was it hard at all to stay positive tonight?
No, most definitely. They put up, I don't know the stats, but shit, damn near 1,000 total yards. And as a defensive player, that's heartbreaking. As a linebacker, that's heartbreaking. But I mean, at the end of the day, the game's over. We get 11 more, how many ever more, and we just got to capitalize from it.
Final questions for Keionte.
The narrative of this defense isn't going to be defined by this being your second game against, a top team like Miami. What do you think is the most important consideration heading into next week?
Can you ask that again? Sorry.
Yeah, I gotcha. So the defense, the narrative around what this defense is for this 2024-2025 season isn't going to be defined by this one game against Miami. What do you think the most important consideration is going out of a matchup like this?
Bouncing back, got to bounce back, and we got to capitalize and fix everything that we messed up on today. We can't let it happen. We can't let it roll over into the next week, because then at that point, then the season just gets long and these games get closer, and it makes it hard for us to pull off victories and stuff like that if we let it roll and linger. So got to get all the mistakes out of the way now and fix all them little hiccups.
I want to ask about the rushing attempts tonight. You had 21 last week, just 5 tonight. Was that ever an area that you were frustrated with tonight?
No, I wouldn't say that there was any frustration with that. Just, as offense, we really couldn't get in the groove. You know, regardless, a lot of 3 and out, so it wasn't really a lot of chances to, hand the ball off. We put ourselves in situations where we're in 2nd and long, 3rd and long, that we had to, passing downs that we had to try to get the first down, and just it wasn't no kind of frustration with that. That's just how the game kind of played out for us.
Yeah. I mean, you did end up getting 4 receptions, led the team in receiving yards as well. When this offense is so, I guess, versatile, like there's so many different guys coming on and off the field, what does that look like being one of those players where there's just constant movement?
Um, I mean, we got playmakers all around the field, and like I said, we just couldn't get in a groove tonight to make the plays. But that's one thing that's going to be great for us as we continue to build off of this, and just the guys. Whenever everybody's making plays, we're going to be something special on the offensive side.
Yeah. Keionte said that there were some communication issues on defense. When you say you guys couldn't get on a groove in offense, does that come down to any communication issues, or is it just Miami's defense?
I wouldn't say really neither of those. It's just you gotta make plays when they come to you. Just taking advantage of your opportunities. Sometimes it did get a little loud out there, and there was a few communication issues. With the snap, and hearing the plays in the huddle and stuff like that. That was a big thing. But I will give a credit to their defense. They came out and they played hard. They seemed like they game plan really well against us, and did what they had to. And like I said, I keep saying, we just got to take advantage of our opportunities when they come, and make the most of them.
Yeah. I know that this is your second game with this program, number 10 team in the country, but just strictly talent wise, do you think this is the best team you've ever played against?
Yeah, they had some good players. Like I said, they feel like they're very well coached. A lot of game plan stuff that they seem to match up well against us, and just the way they get to the ball and kind of fly around and get to their spots. They was really good. They're not ranked in the top 25 and in the top 10 for no reason. They're a legit top 10 team, and I feel like they'll do a lot of big things this year.
Yeah. What was the game plan specifically for this offense, or maybe just the focus tonight?
Game plan. We game plan throughout the week and watching their film for the last couple games that they had, and we had a good plan. But like I said, just you got to take advantage of the opportunities, when they come, and make plays whenever they're presented to you.
Yeah.
There's a big kind of mix of emotions between these past 2 weeks. Last week was your first week with the program. You had over 100 yards. And then you have this week where you know, give up 60 plus points and can't really get the offense going all game. How do you manage those emotions, and what are you going to look to do moving forward into next week?
Moving forward, we gotta put this one behind us, but we can't forget about. We got to build off of it, and take the you know areas where we made mistakes and we didn't take advantage of our opportunities, and build on those and find a way to get it done. This is going to tell this next week, and really the upcoming weeks are going to tell a lot about our team, what kind of team that we got. Sometimes you get hit in the mouth and you gotta respond. So this was one of them nights that not a lot went our way, but we got to find ways to make them go our way.
Obviously, I have no idea what it's like to play college football, so I am curious. When you guys can't get anything going on offense, you guys didn't have a play in the red zone tonight. What is the feeling when you're on the field and you just can't get anything going?
It just depends on what kind, like I said, like what kind of team you got. We stay positive, and it's always the next play mentality. And when it's not going our way, we got to continue to try to fight and find a way to make it go our way. But like I keep saying, we just couldn't get that done tonight.
Yeah. I asked Keionte the same question. Was it tough to stay positive tonight?
Um, not really, because it's football, and stuff like that happens, and it's just really, as a leader on your team, like you gotta for first, you can't get down and, lollygag around. You got to keep everybody up and, just staying positive. Like I said, it is football. That stuff happens, but, like I keep saying, we gotta come back ready to go and, be more hungry coming off this loss.
Thanks, Braedon.
I know you talked about, kind of putting this loss in the past. How hard is it to kind of forget about a game and move on, especially if it's a loss like this?
It's really hard, but like I said, we gotta take the stuff that we did tonight, and we gotta build on the good stuff, and we gotta build on the bad stuff as well. Just take and learn from this game, and just flush it behind us because it's already happened, and it's not gonna do us any good looking back and dwelling on it.